There we are. We should be live. Hello and welcome to whatever episode number we're on. I don't know anymore. Too many to count. So, bad intros aside, we can have the guests introduce themselves.
Hi. Yeah, I'm FASTATCC. Thank you, GTAs, for having me on. Really excited to talk to you about speedrunning.
I love speedrunning.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
It's fantastic. That's why I've talked to like 150 people. I don't know what number we're on anymore, but it's up there. But it never gets old. Much like speedrunning. It never goes away.
Yeah, I mean, and there's so many stories. Like each person just kind of has their own journey. So I'm sure it's been fun to talk to a lot of people about it.
Oh yeah, but a personal interest of mine since I started getting into it was the classic Mega Man games. So, as someone that's done pretty much all of them, I feel I'll be especially interested today to learn more.
Yeah, they're super fun. And that's been like my main focus. I've speedrun other stuff as well, but like yeah, really have enjoyed the classic megas, and they're also unique and exciting in their own way. So yeah, excited to talk about it.
hmm Well, we can get started. You could kind of summarize exactly it as you do, and then we can jump into like how you got started.
Sure. Yeah, I've run a number of games over the years. I started speedrunning seriously, like on Twitch in summer of 2014. Got started with Mega Man 3. Like saw a YouTube video that like some friends were racing it, and it looked like fun. So I just kind of tried it on my own without like strats, and just really got hooked on it. Since then, I learned all the other like NES Mega Man speedruns. I speedran Hollow Knight for a time, Legend of Zelda, Wario's Woods, and Xenosaga 2, a number of other different things. And have made a few GDQ appearances. I haven't done as much speedrunning lately, although I don't consider myself done with it. I actually did a GDQ co-op run with Fatso earlier this year, and I am just have just enjoyed the hobby so much. It's the longest I've ever spent with one hobby. The community has been amazing, and it's been yeah, just a really fun journey.
hmm But yeah, thanks again for coming on. And I guess how exactly did you like discover the hobby and then really get started with it?
I mean, we can go all the way back to like 1998.
That's before I existed.
Yeah, so I was
Fair.
15 at the time. And uh, it's called the Elite. I don't know if it was back then. I can only barely remember. But I did some GoldenEye 64 stuff. Um, uh, like I would say the like unlocking the cheats in that game was like the first thing that really kind of got my brain going with speedrunning. And so like one, I like figured out how to get all those without like looking up any guides, and then I found out there were people that like actually tried to get the lowest possible time on that. And there was like a website dedicated to all that. I was terrible back then. Like I couldn't compete with the top runners, and I didn't even really understand the strategies they were using. But it was like the first real like speed running that I did. So I did that. I did like Wipeout 64 and all that way back then. And then I kind of put it all down for a while. And I would say like it was the what's the website called? Speed Demos Archive. I would look up videos on there from time to time. Usually Mega Man, but like Mario, like anything that I played as a kid. Like I grew up with an NES. And so I would like watch those videos, and it just seems like so much fun. But it wasn't really until later that I actually fully like invested in the hobby and started doing speedruns as we kind of know them now. Um, and what really got me into that was actually like the races on SRL. Uh, People would you needed a Twitch account basically to do speedruns live races, and that's kind of what like convinced me to actually like jump into Twitch and streaming and all that. Otherwise, I probably never would have. But I wanted to join a Mega Man 3 race that I saw some friends doing, and that's what kind of like started my Twitch channel. And yeah, 11 years later, here we are.
So you kind of more accidentally stumbled into the actual doing PB type stuff because of having to create an account for the races and such.
Pretty much, yeah. Like I had done a couple of like Mega Man 3 speedruns like offline without like not even a live split or anything, just timing it on my phone.
And
Um
obviously unrecorded then, I assume.
yeah, yeah. I'd done maybe a few of those. I think my very first run was like over an hour. And I think I got it down to, under 50 minutes or something. PB now is 33, so like quite a ways off. Like not really using strats or anything, just like playing it like I would as a kid, but not uh you know, um yeah, just trying to go as quick as I could, but not without like really practicing anything. But then like I kind of found the community on Twitch, just a lot of the other Mega Man runners. I would see them stream their attempts, and yeah, they just kind of invited me to join like one of the SRO races they were doing. Um, and I've always been like a pretty shy person, so like going into streaming is not really anything I ever saw myself doing. But in order to like again to do this race, I had to create an account, and I ended up just like really loving it. It was just so much fun.
Yeah. And the nice thing is obviously you don't need a face cam or even mic really to speedrun even. Um
Yeah, I think the first 6 months I streamed, I didn't have a mic.
yeah. I was micless and camless for a long time. Uh Mostly it was because of like being at university at a certain point, but
Oh sure.
yeah, I mean, I didn't use a camera for years. But I finally got more into that kind of thing, but you know, not for
Yeah,
everyone, and
yeah.
you
I
don't
mean,
have to. That's the nice thing.
yeah. I honestly just don't even own a webcam, and it's like
Mm,
I if I could figure out what I thought it would add to my stream, I would probably like would invest in it. And it's just like, I don't know. Like I always kind of wanted it to be about the gameplay.
yeah,
And the mic became helpful just because like I wanted to interact, especially as the chat got bigger and more people were in there.
yeah, it's
It
hard to
just
type
ease. Yeah,
while you're
exactly.
playing.
Just ease of interacting with people. But, like the mic made a lot of sense, and then also just kind of bantering during races and that sort of
Mhm.
thing. Yeah, camera I've like never really felt the need.
Yeah, and that's totally fair. Um, Again, that's the beauty of streaming, especially speedrunning, is you can just throw up gameplay. You can even just point your camera at your TV and call it a day. Go off. It's a very easy
Yeah.
thing to get into. A lot of
Yeah, a
us
lot of
make
my
it more
favorite.
complicated than it needs to be, but it doesn't
No,
have
no,
to
it's
be.
good. Like right, I see the value in it for sure. And yeah, I think it's just it's an individual thing for each runner, like whether what they're trying to get out of it, I guess. But
Mhm.
a lot of my favorite speedrunners don't use them, like Ohon or Becco, Baron Haynes. A lot of people I've just watched for years, Vson, uh, never used a camera, so that probably like influenced my decision a little bit too. Just like a lot of the people that I really looked up to, Elanesia. Um, yeah, we're not actually. I guess it wasn't really that common in classic Mega. Now that I think
Yeah.
about it, like a lot of the, um, I think Terex and Papa, a lot of the people that like started running around the same time I did didn't use one. And so yeah, I probably just kind of went with the flow on that.
Yeah. I guess I know Cool Kid Cypher had theirs. Um but yeah, I guess I can't really think of anyone else, which is
Yeah, and they were like
interesting.
kind of from yeah, they were kind of from like the generation before me too, in a way. Like they've been speedrunning forever.
Yeah.
Like yeah, they've kind of they've always been.
Oh yeah. So
um,
Mega Man 3 was the first kind of race game.
yeah. So there's you can probably find the YouTube video still. There's a series from it must have been at least 12 years old, but like six friends that would race just various like classic retro games. And none of them were like uh I don't know like what their history with speedrunning is, but like if you think about speedruns back in whenever this was, like I think there were a lot of people that just didn't put the type of practice and like save states and all those like we didn't have the same tools that we do today. But like they were their races were like, you know, Mega Man 3 in like 50 minutes to an hour, hour 10 or whatever. Like they weren't super serious, but like they were games that they were familiar with and they were just trying to work their way through them.
Mhm.
And like watching that, I was just kind of like, yeah, I could do that. Like this kind of looks like my gameplay. And like Mega Man 3 is one of those games that like uh I played it as a kid. It was one of my favorite games. Like I'm actually like casually RPGs are my favorite game by far. But for some reason, like of platformers, like Mega Man 3 had just like was one of my favorite games as a kid, and I would come back and play it like every year, like all throughout adolescence and all that. So it was like a pretty natural like first game for me to want to get into, just because like I have such a familiarity with it. Um, and so I was just like, okay, well let me time myself and see how I compare with these like six people that ran it on this YouTube video and see if I could beat it. That's kind of where it started. Was just like a little challenge that I set for myself.
Mhm. So when did like the genuine splits try to PB come into play?
Not too much longer after that. Uh, you know, this was summer of 2014. I think that summer, Checkers did a Mega Man 3 SGDQ run, and it was absolutely incredible. His PB at the time was a 34:58, and his run was a 35:20.
Okay.
Which like you've done live runs, right? And it's
Yeah.
just like that's absolutely bonkers, especially for a game like Mega Man where you know, one mistake, Mario, like you fall in a pit, you might lose
Yeah,
20, 30.
it's just over.
Yeah, yeah. So basically it was almost a mistake-free run of Mega Man 3, and it was just like it was really inspiring to see the game that I loved played at that level. And I think that's probably what I'm thinking back 11 years now and like what my
Yeah.
inspirations were. But like I think that's really what caused me to want to take it as seriously as I did, is just like seeing what it could be. I never really thought that I would get to that level. I didn't have like the aspirations of, oh, um, I'm gonna compete with these top times, or I'm gonna get a world record, or anything like that. That wasn't really the goal. It was more just like, this looks like fun. Let me see what I can get out of it. And like the great thing about speedrunning is just like no matter what level you're at, you have this like measured self improvement because you have the timer. Like you can just see yourself getting better.
Mhm.
Um, and you have evidence of it. And so there's something just like really addictive about that. Just continuing to like see the work that you put in pay dividends. And then like that's nothing, say nothing of like strat finding and routing and all that stuff, and like uh making a discovery that hundreds of people that have played the game before like missed out on. But that type of stuff just like really got me hooked, and I just found myself putting a lot of hours into it.
Mhm. So I guess how much did you keep with it? Did it start off just that game exclusively?
Um, it was, but not for that long. I think being part of the classic Mega community is just like a very very welcoming, very supportive community. So like I didn't really. I feel like I got some traction on my stream right away. Like other Mega Man runners would come and um, watch me do my runs, and in turn I would go and watch them. And like I didn't grow up with any other Megas. Like 3 is the only one I had. I played all of 1 through 6 like on the anniversary collection when it came out on PS2. So like I had some familiarity with the other ones, but like I didn't really know them that well. But then watching Papat run Mega Man 6, or Baron run Mega Man 5, or Choni run Mega Man 4. It was like really interesting to see what the other games looked like and how their speedruns like differed from Mega Man 3. So it wasn't too long. It was probably like a few months of grinding just Mega Man 3. And then like I got a time I was fairly happy with at the time, and I'm like, oh, let me try another one out. And so then I ended up just going through basically all the other ones, one at a time, and then started doing like 1 through 6 runs and what we call 46 robots, which is just the robot masters, from all of 1 through 6. Uh, and yeah, that was like most of my early games, like early career, I guess, speed running. Like the first couple years was like really putting a lot of focus into Mega Man 3, and then uh, just moving from game to game as I kind of got times I was like happy with in each of them, and getting better at all of them, learning new strats and stuff.
So you took care of all of the NES Mega Mans, and then 3 was like the main focus.
Yeah, like I've probably put as many attempts into 3 as like all the other 5 put together at this point. Um, you know, I which is crazy because like I think if you look at, I'm not sure which game I would have the second most attempts in, but like I'm sure something like Mega Man 5, I probably have like 7,000 attempts of it or something. And like that's not. I would say I probably have between like 4 and 7,000 of the other 5, and then like I don't know 35,000 on 3, something ridiculous.
Yeah. Um. So how long did it take you to get to the top then? Because you said it wasn't your goal, but obviously it would end up kind of that way at some point.
Yeah. Give me one sec. Let me look up Mega Man leaderboards.net real quick.
Oh yeah, that's the other interesting thing is like the speedrun.com leaderboards aren't accurate. The accuracy is on that separate website.
Yeah, I can get into that too. So let's see. I started in the summer of 2014. I got the Mega Man 3 world record in the summer of 2015.
So not
Um,
very long at all.
yeah. There was I didn't have a job at that time. So
That does help.
yeah, I was putting a lot of, because like I didn't play exclusively for that year Mega Man 3. I think I played all 6 during that time. But yeah, just free time is is very valuable when it
Oh
comes to
yeah.
speedrunning. And I was just hooked. I was really enjoying um just really enjoying the hobby. And again, once I got into the point where like uh oh, like these runs at the top are not perfect, not in terms of execution, because like always you can see, even now, like it's just rare to see, even in something like Mario 1, it's like it's rare to see a speedrun without a mistake. Um, but like the strats have all not been found. Like I was shocked to discover that like early on, like there's like this thing that we can do that's faster. And
Mhm.
like fast forward 10 years, and it's like we found hundreds of things in Mega Man 3, a lot of micro optimizations. It's like it's the type of game where there's so many different things you could do to save 5 to 10 frames. Um, and it's just been cool to be a part of the evolution of that game, and some of the other ones as well. But like 3 is like really where I put like a lot of the R&D into.
So what makes the third game specifically interesting, and then like what was kind of found out around the time you started then?
So three is the first of the Mega Mans with a slide. I tend to prefer the sliding Mega a little bit more. But every Mega Man has its own thing that makes it unique and interesting. But the slide really makes it so you can't possibly optimize the game. Um,
Hmm.
when you slide, you're going twice the speed as walking or in the air. So basically, every jump that you make, you're trying to make it as small as possible. So if you're jumping over a pit, you're trying to jump out on the last frame possible. You're trying to land on the leftmost pixel, and you're trying to slide on the very first frame that you land. So there's
Mhm.
like 3 inputs basically that you can lose frames on, and this is just multiplied thousands of times throughout the run. And so movement ends up being a lot more important in the sliding megas 3 through 6 than they are in 1 to 2. Like 1 and 2, like movement matters for sure, like as it does in any platformer. But once you make the jump to 3, like the better runners, no matter how good you are at the tricks or how good you are at mashing, like mashing is what I guess Mega Man 3 is known for. But like I always tell new runners that they worry about their mashing. I show them videos of like what my mashing looked like when I first started. I'm still not anywhere near the best masher for a Mega Man 3 runner. But it's like the movement is king. You can if your movement is good enough, you can make up for inefficiencies elsewhere. So that combination of movement and mashing is really where the Mega Man 3 runners kind of separate themselves from the other Mega Man classic runners. Um, but yeah, the movement and there's another kind of idiosyncrasy with the slide where you can't jump out in the first 8 frames after you initiate the slide.
Mm.
And so Mega Man 3 has these like single block slide jumps that you do. Um, and that can be like pretty intimidating to get into because if you start your slide too late on a single tile block, or if you try to jump out too early, you're just going right off the edge, and a lot of times that means going into a pit. So, um, yeah, I don't know, really interesting speedrun in that sense because you go into Mega Man 4 and like they remove that restriction, and like all of a sudden you're dealing with like just a different type of movement because you can do very small micro slides anywhere, whereas like 3 prevents you from doing that.
Yeah, that's a thing like the casual person wouldn't recognize. Like I wasn't aware of that until just now.
Yeah, if you think about, and then Mega Man 3 is a pretty laggy game as well,
Oh
and
yeah.
so 8 frames can be 16 frames, right? And so
Mm.
if there's enough enemies on screen, if you're playing the game casually, you might try to slide and then jump and be like, the game ate my input, and it's like, well, it did, yeah, but there's like a logic to it, right?
Yeah.
Um, so like, there's other things too, like you can't shoot on the same frame that you land. And
Oh.
so a lot of like learning to be good at Mega Man 3 was just figuring out like what are all these like weird programming quirks, these eaten inputs, these things that like might make the game feel clunky to someone that is not well versed in it. Um, uh, if you turn around and try to shoot at the same time, like that doesn't work either, and like that's not a thing in Mega Man 2, for instance. So like each game, you just like you have to figure out. I remember being really frustrated with Mega Man 6 because it has a lot of these same type of things, like not the same type of eaten inputs that 3 gives you, but like completely different ones.
Hmm.
And like they were a thing that were not really known by the community at the time, like why they happened. And like I had to go into emulator frame by frame and like try to figure out like, okay, what is happening here? Like why am I not getting my input? And I think that knowledge level has just grown a lot over time too, where like now new runners, it's like you can tell them like, oh, this is why that's happening. This is how you avoid it. Like I always like if I have to turn and shoot, I'll always jump and turn and shoot at the same time. So like I don't lose my input, stuff like that. Like you just kind of um, figure out how to remap your muscle memory to avoid frustrating eating inputs like that.
Yeah. When I thought of like the original Mega Man, original NES 6 games, like each one was different. Not just because like obviously they're different games, but like they look exactly the same at a surface level. But I know all of them are pretty much different mechanically at a certain point. Like in
Yeah,
my
it's
mind,
like
I
it's
I would think about like, yeah, 3 added the dive, but that was before they added charge shot. So there's all that kind of
yeah,
stuff, and then I know 3 introduced kind of like the rush, and
right,
those
right,
are all
right.
new mechanics.
Yeah,
So
each game has different.
those are the things you could recognize, but then there's also like underground stuff you wouldn't know about unless you really dug into it.
For sure. And like, 4 out of the charge, but then 4, 5, and 6 all have different charge shots, and you
Hmm.
like 5 you use the charge shot everywhere, and whereas 4 like you almost kind of try to avoid it, because of like, how it creates lag, um, and like 5 pierces through and like tends to because of the amount of HP enemies have, it tends to like one shot a lot of enemies, so you use it to clear like multiple enemies at a time. Um, I don't know, everything. It's just it's so different going from game to game. It's uh there's almost more differences than there are similarities. The menuing's all different. Um, yeah, it's
Oh
just
yeah,
it's
each
super
button's
fascinating.
menu is different.
Yeah, I love the Mega Man 3 menu, by the way. Best menu in classic Mega. Don't at me.
All right. But yeah, that must make the like full 6 game runs really difficult to like have to swap between each different mechanic.
Definitely can be. Obviously, the more you build up muscle memory, like it's not like a mental process of like, oh, I'm going to Mega Man 4 now. Let me, because like the slide length is different in 3 than it is from 4 through 6.
Mm.
Um, and so like in the first stage of 4, it can be like you could be trying to chain your slides too early, and then that causes you to end up like just walking in between slides a lot, and um, it can be a little frustrating. But because you have that repetition of every 21 frames in Mega Man 3 versus every 28 in Mega Man 4.
21
Um,
frames. Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Pretty. Yeah, you imagine you're waiting for a bus.
Yeah, you're picking up.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. Um, I've seen a few Mega Man 1 speedrun, or sorry, Mario 1 speedruns. Um, but yeah, you it's when you're going from game to game, it's like the more practice you've put into each game individually, it's like you start to just be like, oh, I'm in this stage, I do this, rather than oh, I'm in this game, I do this, I guess. And
Oh, okay.
so like you get used to it over time, and I feel like the muscle memory from the different games doesn't uh, interrupt you too much. The more you've kind of really know what you want to do in each stage of each game. Um, so those multi-game runs, I think, are really one. They're just mentally draining. You get to the end of like a 3.5 hour Mega Man 1 to 6 run, and my brain feels like mush. Um, but also, they're really interesting because you're not doing the same thing for 3.5 hours. Like you do even in 8 stages in Mega Man 3, like they all feel pretty different. But like going from game to game, it's like you're zipping in Mega Man 1 and 2, but like even the zips in 1 and 2 are set up in completely different ways. It just doesn't feel like you're executing on the same things. So in the Mega Man 2 zips, like there's so many different ways to initiate those too. So like yeah, I find it pretty fascinating going through the multi-game category because it's just like it's so diverse in what you're doing that like the time just kind of flies by.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it sounds complicated to the casual observer, I guess, but
Yeah.
I do like the
Um,
idea of structuring it between the different stages because you focus more on like what you have to do in the stage and you kind of forget, oh, these mechanics are different than the game I was just playing or something.
yeah, like eventually all that just kind of feels natural. Like, oh, I've done this. Like my hands know what to do here. And that only just comes from practice. I'm a big save state grinder. I don't know if you are. I imagine you kind of
Mm,
have to be with the game you run.
a little bit. But yeah, I have always enjoyed the 48 Robot Master runs.
Yeah, yeah, they're super fun.
Cut out the
Well,
Wily
the
DS
benefit of
and
that is like you get to go through all of 1 through 6, and like an hour and 40 is a lot more manageable than 3.5 hours.
yeah,
Um,
wow.
yeah, so you still get the same flavor of all the games without having to like it's just a commitment. Like sometimes I just don't even have the time to do something that long.
Yeah, those have always been the like fun part of the games to me too. Like I like the themed levels and
Sure.
they all have
Yeah, yeah,
their
for
own
sure.
items because eventually you get to the Wily castles and stuff and sometimes there's like two castles and all this other crap and it's meant to be like difficult. And I don't know,
Right.
it's just not as and it's obviously linear instead of the oh you can choose whatever order you want. Yeah,
I
that's
think
like the
that's the
fun part of the
beauty.
game. The rest is just like
Totally.
challenge mode. Fuck you.
Sure. And I'm someone that like tends to enjoy difficulty in games, so like I like the castle stages, but like I think the genius of Mega Man is the choose your own adventure nature of like just pick your route through it.
And the rock paper
Um,
scissors kind of
yeah,
items.
yeah. Mega Man 3 is unique in the sense that it has three different routes that have been popular over the years.
Oh.
Like
Hmm.
Gemini First, Top First, and Magnet First have all held the world record at various points. It's actually gone like full circle. It was Magnet, and then it was Top, and then it was Gemini, and then it was Magnet, and then it was Top. Um,
Okay.
throughout the last like 15 years of its history, which is just absolutely fascinating. Actually, when I started, I ran Magnet first. The world record at the time was Gemini first. Um, and I kind of like pioneered the modern version of the magnet route, which is what a lot of beginners still learn today. Like top verse is considered like the high level optimized, much more difficult route that you learn after you put your time in. And magnet first is kind of the introductory route. But I got world record with that route. Kind of like re- re- Magnet First had existed, like the very first world record was Magnet First, but we're talking like 2005 strats or whatever. So the modern version of the Magnet First route was like pretty much just my baby. Um, and then eventually, it was actually Elanesia figured out a way to make the Mega Man 2 runner figured out a way to make top first viable because there was always one section of the run that kind of was theoretically possible, but was way too difficult and made people not think that top first, even though we like knew it to be faster, would be viable RTA. But yeah, Elanesia and like Baron Haynes as well, like put some work into figuring out like how to make it happen. And now we get to do top spin jumps in Shadow Man under the little parachute enemies that fall down, and it's ridiculously difficult, but also makes top first the world record out of choice.
So the different routes just are for having different weapons and stages you might not have them otherwise that could save time.
Correct. So like to most clear example would be Shadow Man stage. So the very last screen, there's a big gap with platforms, and there's these parachute enemies that drop from the ceiling, and they drop at random heights. If you do Magnet first or Gemini first, you have Magnet Missile, which is an auto tracking weapon. And it makes that screen completely easy. You
Hmm.
just fire the magnets out, and then you slide jump. You don't even have to pay attention to what the enemies are doing. You
Like it
just you
negates
get
the
through
RNG factor.
completely,
Hmm.
and you don't have to. Like, you just focus on the movement. All you have to worry about is the drops, because drops
Ah,
will
yeah.
like interrupt. Yeah. So like if you see a drop, you need to jump a little higher through it. And here's another thing: in a small drop in Mega Man 3 will interrupt you for 4 frames, and in Mega Man 4 through 6, actually 1, 2, and 4 through 6, it'll interrupt you for 8 frames,
Hmm.
which is a huge difference. And you uh, anyway, but anyway, so the um that screen is completely trivialized. But like, if you don't have Magnet Missile, what you're doing is you're taking Topspin through there. Topspin, for anybody that like, I think Topspin is one of the more famous things about Mega Man 3. It's really derided as just a terrible weapon. But it's an interesting one in that it one shots like half the enemies in the game, and then the other half of the enemies of the game don't take any damage from it, and you take damage instead.
Oh,
Um,
great.
yeah. And so it takes a lot of like trial and error to figure out where it's useful, but once you figure it out, it's like extremely powerful.
And
But also what
speedrunners are
it
just going to
does,
know at that point.
yeah, right. When you hit an enemy with topspin, it pushes you backwards. Uh, and so the trick with these parachute enemies is you activate topspin, you have to turn around to the left right before you hit them, and then as soon as you hit them, you start holding right again so that it pushes you in the direction that you want to go. Um,
Hmm.
and generally, if you mess that up and get pushed in the wrong direction, you're just going to fall in the pit and die. Um, and then the fact that these are RNG enemies and you don't know exactly where they're going to deploy to, like all the way, they can basically deploy all the way down to your level, or they can be like kind of at a max height jump. And so you have to like read their patterns and react and turn at the appropriate time. And uh, so it's a really fun screen to practice. And once you get good at it, it can be consistent. But it's quite the barrier for someone who's just like trying to figure out how mechanics work and getting really comfortable with the controls. It's not something that anybody recommends somebody to try until they're like really trying to push for a top time.
So what's the reward for that strat?
So what that does is a lot like the problem with Magnet first is that you get Rush Jet too late. So like
Hmm.
Magnet stage has a Yoku block puzzle, like a series of them,
Hmm.
that you're both of the other routes, Gemini and Top First, are able to skip with Rush Jet. Um, and so the top first is like the perfect balance of having Rush Jet early for like skipping that Yoku block puzzle, and then also having a good balance of weapons to like conquer the rest of the game. But the trade off there is just the difficulty of it. There's actually a task route that's slightly different that like there's a glitched rush jet you can get. Basically, you can have rush jet without having rush jet as long as you have a weapon that's next to it. So, like for instance, if you have Shadow Blade, you actually have rush jet. It just doesn't have any energy. So if you switch to rush jet and like pick up weapon refills in the stage, you actually can use rush jet without having gone to Needleman stage and gotten it. And the task manipulates drops in order to do that, so it has like an even slightly faster route. But
Okay.
that's something, yeah. Like you could do that RTA, but you'd be getting to like stage 3 and like hoping for a large refill from like one of two enemies, and it's just like it's completely absurd. Like there's, if we're in 2050 and like the world record is 20-30 seconds faster than it is now, then sure, like let's run that route and reset on stage 3. But nobody's good enough at the game yet where that seems like a logical thing to do.
Yeah, what would be the odds in that even occurring?
uh,
Not very high.
yeah, not high, like 1 in 20 maybe. I haven't
Jesus
actually done the math on it,
Christ.
but it's not high enough to even like
Yeah, no,
warrant
of
considering
course
at this
not.
point. Yeah. Like, even if it was 1 in 10, it's like no, no. There's just like I feel like I could get 10 seconds on my PB with current strats, like without even good luck. So like let's not do that yet.
Yeah, no. No, this is a good question, but your name, you think it's like fast at MM. What's CC mean?
Okay, so this was my screen name from like 8th grade.
Ah,
I've used it forever since nobody uses it because it's stupid. You can't pronounce it. Um, like people are like FASTACC, whatever. Like it is, yeah, it's awful. And like shortening it to fast is horrible because that's ugh, yeah, confusing, and especially in speedrunning,
yeah, of
to have
course.
people call you fast, right? Anyways, but the reason I have it is I ran cross country back then,
Mm.
and a friend of mine was creating like an AOL instant messenger. That's probably before your time, but AOL instant messenger account. That was like the first like online presence I had. It was just so that we could like uh yeah, talk online. And he created the account for me because we ran cross country together.
Mm.
And yeah, I've just used that for everything since.
Yeah, it wasn't a joke to me. I wanted to know. I'm glad we got that cleared up.
the there's yeah, I that's always been just a like a long running joke, is like what's the CC stand for, and it's like
Well, we
whatever
got we
someone
got the real answer today.
yeah, yeah, like I it should have been like one of those Grand Pooh Bear things where I just give a different answer like every time someone asks, but
Ah,
yeah, no, that's literally true.
well, there you go. You got the exclusive details here today. Very important.
Yeah, fast at cookie clicker, fast at
Ah, yeah,
chips
yeah.
challenge, chrono cross, whatever you want it to be.
Well, now you just have to run every game that is CC, so it makes sense.
Right.
Like, I can't tell you all the Grand Theft Auto jokes I get. So,
Oh, right. I didn't
yeah.
even think about that.
So, similar boat. Um,
Yeah.
uh, running stuff that
Does
makes
does
no
does it
sense.
get old for you or no?
Uh, I don't know. Um, it used to, not anymore.
Okay.
I
The
think.
CC stuff doesn't bother me. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I think you stream long enough and like you get the same questions enough that it's just like I don't know.
Whatever.
You're
Here
like
it is again.
yeah, like you're used to answering stuff multiple times. It's like it's whatever. People have fun with it.
I don't know. My favorite part is since I'm GTA CE on speedrun.com, that the GTA category extensions have to use the GTA memes URL. So get wrecked.
Nice.
um so I don't know if it was always GTA memes or not, but I like to say that I am the reason that they had to do that.
That's great. I choose to believe that.
Yeah, exactly, right. All right. So I guess yeah, usually I try to stick to a timeline thing, but I kind of got off track here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I
Well,
kind of
my
went all over
fault,
the
but
place.
I do find this stuff interesting though because yeah, again, I'm not familiar with just how many differences there were between the games, and then each one has stuff
Yeah,
stuff
like
to varying
you could
degrees of difficulty and complexity.
And when you run a game for 11 years, like I could just pick a rabbit hole and just talk about that rabbit hole for an
Yeah.
hour. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
and some of that's interesting and some of it's not interesting. It's all interesting to me. And so like
Hmm.
as a guest on a show, I have to like be like, oh wait, maybe that's not something that people will actually care about. But yeah, I could talk about this stuff for ages.
Hmm. But just to get back on like the timeline sort of stuff, because we talked
Sure.
about like got record pretty quickly, um did a lot of 1 through 6 stuff, but kind of just continuing from that point, I guess.
Yeah. Can't remember exactly when I started some like to branch out outside of Mega Man. I never got uh a record in another classic Mega. I did like Mega Man 3 Buster Only and like some smaller categories and stuff like that, but like uh I think at one point I was like top 10 maybe in all of 1 through 6 individually.
Oh wow,
I
okay.
got yeah, I got top 5 in a few. May have been like second. I think I was second in Mega Man 4 at one point. So like I
Wow.
got like really competitive times in especially the sliding megas. I think
Hmm.
Mega Man 6 I probably got up to second or third. I think I was second behind Papa at one point, or maybe third. I don't know. So like I put work into those and got pretty good at them. More so the sliding megas than the walking megas, but I got pretty good
Hmm.
times in one and two as well. And then at some point, like I started to kind of branch out and see what else was out there. Legend of Zelda was like another favorite game I had as a kid, and that one was a very humbling experience because like
Hmm.
you come from Mega Man and there's RNG in Mega Man, but usually it's like the boss does either this pattern or this pattern. You put yourself in a position to mitigate the loss of one and like enhance the timing gain you get from the other. But like you're generally choosing one strategy that you can execute every time, and you maybe make a branching decision based on like what you see the boss do, right? Like there's it's something you can practice and practice and like you can get it down even though there's RNG. Like there's a finite amount of RNG you can see and you can practice all of it. Legend of Zelda, like you walk into a room and there's 6 enemies and you have to kill all of them and they're all going in different directions. And they can all turn at any time. And it's just like I don't even know how to get better at this. Like this is
Hmm.
insane.
And you have to keep
And so
track of every kill and memorize
yeah,
every enemy
yeah.
because of how their item drops work.
Right, yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, like if you kill 10 enemies in a row without getting hit, and that's another thing, like you get hit and it
Oh
just
yeah,
ruins
right.
your run. But if you kill 10 enemies in a row without getting hit with a bomb, you'll get a bomb back, and bombs are so powerful in that game because you're on the wooden sword for like two-thirds of the run.
Oh
And
yeah.
the bomb does 4 times the damage of the wooden sword and is AoE. And so you just want as many bombs as possible to clear these rooms as fast as possible. But like yeah, if you watch the top runners, Green Mario and Lack and Shixel and like are they rarely have a bad room. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
not always going to go perfect, and like it's based on RNG. Like you're not always going to get a good pattern, but like they make the most of what they're given so frequently. I I I've dabbled in Legend of Zelda on and off. I really took it seriously. I can't remember exactly when it was. It was a few years ago at this point. But like I had like some introductory runs of it using like one of the easier routes like back 2016, 2017, something like that. Um and like for that point it was just like, oh, this game's just too hard for me. Like I can do
Hmm.
Mega Man, but like I can't do Legend of Zelda. Like this is not in my skill set. Like my reaction speed's kind of slow. It doesn't really fit my style of like I'm just gonna grind out like practice on this and know what I want to do every time. Eventually when I came back to the game in like 2021 or whatever to get a better time, I think I had developed some better practice habits and had learned maybe a better approach for that type of game. But at the time, like, yeah, that was I just remember like going into this and just being like, yeah, this is witchcraft. The people that can do this they're just different levels of speedrunner than I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
it's a completely different skill set, and
yeah, so that was fun. I just to talk about a few of the other runs that I did outside of Mega and like I did Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is like one of my favorite games of all time, and now Silk Song, like that one's amazing as well. Um I picked that up maybe like a year after it came out. A lot of the routing had done by the time I finished my like casual playthrough. I'm like, I love this game. I want to speedrun it. It
Mm.
was a platformer. It was something I was like more familiar with, but it also had the elements of Zelda where like uh, Mega Man is more platforming. It has boss fights, but like the boss fights don't take up as much time. It's usually like you have the weakness, you read the pattern, you blow them up, right?
Hmm.
Hollow Knight is like more boss fights than movement. The movement is pretty basic, at least in the category that I ran, like the any percent, no major glitches. Um, because like you can buffer your jump, you can buffer your dash. It's like hard to lose time or that much time on movement. So it's like mostly tricks and boss fights. And so the boss fights, like you're going in underpowered, and it's just one RNG move after another. And so you're in close quarters and you're trying to read patterns really quickly and punish them as best you can. And that didn't really fit my skill set very well, but it was the platformer part did. So um, that was the thing that I think got me a little better at like the reading reacting portion of speedrunning. Because I ended up getting a world record in that game as well. And if you look at it now, uh, like my time is 34:27. I want to say the record now is like a 30 or a 31. So we're talking about like it was a year after it came out, but it was still the dark ages of Hollow Knight speedrunning. Like we've just learned so much more about the game since then. Even in a category like no major glitches, it's not like glitches were found to make it faster. Although what constitutes a major glitch is questionable, I
Hmm.
think. But in any case, like I got good enough at that style of game to get the record in a game that was really popular. It had like 300 runs on the leaderboard, I think. Um, and so that I was really proud of that because that was something I didn't think that I had the skill set for. And it was so different from like all the Mega Man 3 stuff that I had done. And it was I want to say a more competitive game. It's really hard to say because it was only a year old, but it at least had more runners, right, than Mega Man.
Mm.
And so that was like that was an achievement I was really proud of. Um, and I think around the same time, maybe slightly after that, I started routing Xenosaga 2, which is a PS2 JRPG. And that's a whole other thing too.
Oh yeah.
Like learning menuing and that those fights are all RNG. And so just like making quick decisions and the menuing practice was again very humbling. Like you watch Luzbelheim do blindfolded 1 minute long menus
Mm.
on like a RPG limit break stage, and it's just like okay, that's incredible. Like I can't believe somebody can get good enough to do that.
I've seen
But it's
those
so satisfying.
clips where they're like, everyone
Yeah,
shut up, and then it's just like the fastest menu you've ever seen for a full minute, and it's perfect.
it's it's so awesome. Like I just like the fact that people can do like speedrunning's just amazing because like no matter how good you get at one thing, like you watch somebody run something else and it's just like it's a completely different skill is on display and it's something they've put the work in to master. Um, and like Mario 1, it's like that stuff is so precise and you have to hit all of it, like all of it.
Yeah.
Um and people do. Like somehow people do that. And it's like I there's nothing in Mega Man that's like that. Like anything that's frame perfect or there's tons of two frame tricks that are required in Mega Man 3, but like there's like anything that's frame perfect doesn't kill your run. I can't even imagine
No.
running a game like that where you just have to do that over and over and over.
We have to do like 30.
Yeah, or your run's
Yeah.
dead. It's like
Yeah.
Mega Man 1 is close to that, but it's just um yeah, it's just really cool to see all the skill sets that are on display and what different speed games just require of you. But yeah, I had a ton of fun with Xenosaga 2. That was Renewing was really fun to learn, but really I just routing a 4 hour RPG from start to finish was also just a it makes me want to do more of that in the future. I just don't have as much free time as I used to. Um, but that was like unlike anything else I've done in speedrunning. So that was super fun. I want to say that was like 2017, 2018 that I got into that. I ended up finally running Xenosaga 2 at RPG Limit Break a year before last or last year. So that was cool. I got to finally like show that game off. Um, yeah. I think so. Like timeline wise. it kind of gets into like most of the stuff that I've run. And then a lot of that was just after it was kind of like going back and just refining. I usually wouldn't be on a grind for more than a few months.
Mm.
Uh, and then it would just be passes of going back through games. So like, let me go back to Mega Man 6, and I didn't really take my slide cancels very seriously last time. I did, some easier strats. Now let me like put the work in to learn what I would consider to be like the next tier of difficulty strats just across the game, or like look into like what can I add to this game? Um is there time to be gained somewhere that we haven't found? And so there'll just be that type of thing, just going from game to game, going back to it, looking, setting a goal, trying to get a 30 seconds worth of PB or whatever. But like challenging myself to learn more difficult strats than I had previously used. Um, and so yeah, just kind of did that for a while. The thing I've always kind of struggled with is like what if especially now that like just based on my job, I just have a lot less free time than I used to. I'm 42 years old now. My hands don't work quite like they used to. Like uh long sessions of grinding on, especially on an NES brick, like just does something to my hands. You know what I mean?
Does something in
I'm
my
not
hands.
Yeah, like I'm not as young as I used to be. So it's just like it's hard to sustain these grinds in the same way that I used to. And so it's like if I'm going to commit to like doing a speed run or like putting the time in to try to improve one of my PBs, like what do I want to do? Do I want to try to get like 5 or 10 more seconds in Mega Man 3? Do I want to try to go back to Mega Man 5 and like run a route that only like one or two people do? And some of my PBs are now like 6, 7, 8 years old, and it's like so much stuff has been learned in that time. And it's like I could walk into some of these games and probably get a 30 to 40 second PB, um, easier than I could get like 5 seconds in Mega Man 3. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, and so it's like, what is the best use of my time? What do I want to do? Or do I want to like? There's so many good casual games that come out, like
Yeah.
uh, Octopath's coming out soon. Slay the Spire 2. I got really into the Final Fantasy 7 like remake series, um, and so just trying to figure out like how I want to spend like my remaining time in speedrunning. Um, like I don't really think about like legacy, like what kind of legacy do I want to leave, but like what would I be most proud to accomplish? Um, I want to have like Mega Man 3 is like the thing that I've really put my heart and soul into. So that's usually what I come back to is like I by the time I'm done speedrunning, I want to at least have tried to get the best run I was capable of getting, and I'm not at that point yet. Um, I'd like to think that I still have, at least one more big Mega Man 3 grind left in me, but every year it gets a little tougher
Does it?
to envision myself. Yeah, just a little bit.
You still have the record in Mega Man 3, right?
I do. I do. I have a 3332. My goal on my last grind was 33 2x, and I didn't get there. I can't remember. Something happened that came up, and I had to cut my grind short. Um, and I put a lot of work in. I was playing at the level where I could get it, and it just didn't quite happen. I wasn't able to get everything to line up. Um, like I feel like if I put in a 6 month grind, I should be able to get 3325 or so. Um, Lower than that is possible, but like a 2x feels very within the realm of possibility for like the strats and the skill level I have. But uh, yeah, it's like it could be derusting and putting all this work in 6 months of attempts and nothing. It's
Yeah.
possible. And so it's like, okay, do I want to do that or not? I'm not sure.
Yeah. And, how old is that record now?
I got that in January of 2023, so we're coming up on 3 years.
Wow.
Um, it hasn't really been under threat. Like, there's not really anybody running Mega Man 3 at a high level.
I've noticed the classic Mega records usually like stand quite a while each time.
It can, yeah.
Like
I feel,
you hear like a Mega Man 2 record once every like 4 years or something at this point. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Um, like a lot of the top runners, when I started running in 2014, there was like this. I don't know how to contextualize it because I wasn't there before, but like it felt like a renaissance of just like new runners coming in, um, and that lasted for a few years where there was just always activity at the top of every leaderboard for a number of years there. Just like a lot of fresh eyes looking at the game, like new strats being discovered, um, and like always somebody pushing for a top time. And like that's dwindled more and more. It's kind of gotten to the point where for each game there's like one or two people that could theoretically like unless somebody new comes along, um there's like one or two people at any given time that could probably beat the top time. Like who's beating Mega Man 1 right now? Working is actually like I choose Mega Man 1 because like working is 4 seconds off of the world record. He set that in July of this year. um like it's only working or Cool Kid that could beat Cool Kid's 1808. Like ND probably could but he hasn't run since 2018. So it's like, is that happening? Probably
Yeah.
not. And so like if you look at the top of all the leaderboards, it's kind of like that. Like you have people that yes, they could beat those times. A lot of them are still speedrunning. But the motivation to grind, because it starts to just become harder and harder to beat those times, and it's like
Mhm.
if you're beating it, you're probably beating it by a couple seconds or a few seconds for some of these games.
Yeah.
Um, and then like the case of Mega Man 2, like you're also battling a lot of RNG at that point. Um, so yeah, like what when's the most recent one? So like Mega Man 1 was what, 2021. Mega Man 2, the world record is 2022. Um, Mega Man 3 was early 2023. Mega Man 4 was 2020. Mega Man 5, that's Becco's 2019, May of
Oh my
2019.
god.
Yeah. Mega Man 6 is Becco's October 2021. So like
Your
the
record is
of
the
the
shortest one, and that's still a
yeah,
long
it's the
time.
most, yeah, exactly, of the
Oh
of
my
the
god.
NES 6. Um and so that didn't used to be the case.
Okay.
But yeah, Classic Mega is just it's not as active as it was. Like you still have people running it, but just people running it at a high level. It's kind of fallen off. And I think it's hard to say why that is. Like I don't know.
Well, to
Or
me, top level just seems so difficult for any of them.
yeah, yeah. Like the tools have gotten better. Like when
Sure, yeah.
um like I didn't have an EverDrive when I started. I started on emulator, thankfully. I'm actually
Hmm.
really happy that I did because I had save states. I had access to like um, being able to theory test stuff pretty easily, like going frame by frame, like figuring out what actually is what's the fastest way to jump up to this platform. Like, do I jump from here, from here? Like you can solve those things in seconds on emulator.
Hmm.
Um, and like a lot of people haven't put the time in for that, but like a lot of that information is just kind of known now, I guess. But now you have like uh you wouldn't like if you're on console, doing anything on emulator is tough because of the difference in input delay. Like it's really easy to like mess up your muscle memory if you're doing like a lot of emulator practice. At least to me, like I found that really difficult to go between the two. Um but the tools with the practice hacks that we have now is just insane.
Hmm.
Um like my hat's off to anybody that's ever made a practice hack for a game because like I've gotten so much better at speedrunning thanks to those. Like
Hmm.
I ended up getting like when I went back to Legend of Zelda a few years ago, like I was able to get into the top five, and that
Wow.
was all thanks to the practice hack. Uh, and like the times are harder to get now, but the tools are better to achieve it. Um, Me as a veteran of speedrunning for 11 years, like I don't look at any of these games that I've run and being like, I think I can go back to any of them and get a PB. Like none of my PBs are that good. Like I guess that's the speedrunner thing to say. Like all my
Hmm.
PBs are trash, but like uh, I really feel like there's time to get everywhere. It's just for me, it's just been time. But for a new runner that's coming in now that doesn't have 11 years of like uh of speedrunning, not only speedrunning practice, but like I think the thing that makes you a better speedrunner is just like learning how to practice.
Mm-hmm.
Like getting better at getting better.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it takes a long time for people to figure that part out, and it can be, if your goal is world record from the start, I think it's just going to be really discouraging
That
because
should never be the goal
uh,
from the start. For
right,
IMO, but
like yeah, like you're competing with people that have so much experience in um like figuring out how to improve basically. But
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would like to see Mega Man get more active. I like to think that if I was like playing Mega Man 3 right now and just like grinding attempts every day, like Mega Man 3 would be more active. Because like we've seen it when, like, if Cypher is playing, like more people are playing Mega Man 2. Um and it, these things tend to go in waves. Like there's recently was a Mega Man 4 tournament, which brought like a lot of attention to Mega Man 4. Uh, there hasn't been a new record set, but like Arl got a 37:08, which is like 10 seconds off the record. He just got that like a
Wow.
couple weeks ago. Um, Hypa got a PB 37:16, which is within 20 seconds. He got that a month ago. And so like something can happen that just like puts a lot of attention on a game. Summoning Salt video, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, something where it's like people get really excited about it and are like, oh yeah, like there's that game's really fun. Like I remember playing that, and um, I would like to see that happen, especially for Mega Man 3. Like I said, I just love that game. Um, and I like to think that there'll be like another, you know, renaissance of people running it at a high level.
Mm-hmm. Something else I've also noticed is, like everyone or a different person has every Mega Man record, at least right
That
now.
was true. Becco has 5 and 6 right now.
Oh, okay, never mind. But
Um,
still, usually you see like a different person for every game. I know Cool Kids have
yeah,
one
yeah,
and
yeah.
two, but like,
Yeah, there've been Fatso had 3 and 4 at one point. Um,
there's usually like a spread.
yeah, yeah. And it's such an international leaderboard too.
Oh yeah, a
Um,
lot of Japanese uh
yeah,
top
Japanese,
players. Yeah.
Swedish, Canadian,
Mm-hmm.
Brazilian, Polish, like yeah, just
Jeez.
all the way.
Yeah.
Chinese, there's definitely been more recently, like strong Chinese players as well.
Yeah, that is interesting because compared to a lot of games, it doesn't sound like the games are that active, for at least compared to how popular they are overall. But the yeah, the people that do spend time are very international.
Yeah,
Like I'm used to
yeah.
seeing a lot of like very country dominated games.
Oh yeah, I've seen that before. Where it's like, oh, for some reason, there's like 9 of the top 10 are French in this game, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Or like Russian, Brazil. Yeah, obviously
Mega Man 11.
U.S. frequently, but
Yeah.
you don't see it like a varied country list usually. But Mega Man games seem to have that.
Mega Man 11's leaderboard goes China, Korea, Finland, Japan, Germany, China, French, U.S., Taiwan, Canada.
Like
Like
that.
that's the top
That's
10.
absurd.
It's like
You
nine,
never see
yeah,
that
9 out of
anywhere.
10 different countries. Yeah, it's super fun. I got to race QTT6 from Taiwan. He came out to we raced Mega Man 11 at GDQ. That was super fun. Um, uh, yeah, there's just the Mega Man's history is like it's rooted in a lot of like Japanese runners. Like Hodorubi was a big router, like
Mm-hmm.
original router for like a lot of Mega Man games. Um, Tiki put a lot of work into that from the US, but like um, I think a lot of strats like weren't known early on. Like Mega Man 3 has a really interesting record history in that like Hodorubi's 34, what was it? 34:15 was like 2.5 minutes faster than like the best recorded time. And we didn't have video of it. And it's just like, how is this possible? Um, and it's so funny, like, because I video of that surfaced later. Like I've seen Hodorubi's run now, and what he was doing back in it was like 2011 or 2012. He first of all he did Gemini first, which was different than like what the record was at the time. Um, But it like looks so modern for how old it is, and like a lot of strats that were developed afterwards were things that Hodorobi had already done, and like other people found it like independently.
Mm.
Um, but it's just like so interesting, like what the streaming era has done to speedruns, where like if you, no matter how obscure you are, like if you find a strat, now everybody knows that strat and the game
Yeah.
is just faster for everybody forever. Whereas like the early days of speedrunning weren't like that. People had their own strats and like you didn't know what they were.
And there might have been a bit of
You just,
hoarding here and there sometime.
yeah, yeah. You still hear that like from time to time, but it's like very uncommon.
Yeah, it's
And like
like
the,
frowned upon. Like
yeah. And
I
the Mega Man
heard from
community is,
some people, like especially like Twin Galaxy era, get a little controversial here, I know. But that was like the norm almost, and now that's like incredibly frowned upon.
yeah, gotta keep in mind the human element.
Yeah, exactly. um
Um,
yeah. I was
but
gonna ask something else. Did you have any more to say on that topic?
no, 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 go for it.
Okay. Because going back to like the, how varied the leaderboards seem to be in Mega Man. Um, to me, that makes it all the more impressive that what you've been top 10 in all of them at one point, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah, at
mean,
least 1 through 6 and 11, like the ones that I've run.
like I know they're not the most popular speedruns in the world, but there's still quite a bit of people that have ran them and are on the leaderboards. So, I mean, that was no easy feat, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
I mean, has
I
anyone else done that?
I think so. It's rare actually for like there's not that many people that run all 6
I
on the
was gonna
NES.
say because I don't recall like hearing that too often or seeing that too often.
I can
I know
Prizzy for sure has done it.
I've seen Cool Kid do like 48 Robot Master runs before.
Yeah, and I think Cool Kid has gotten in the top 10 of all of them. I think
Okay.
Prizzy has as well.
And I know there were like some
Um,
for fun races here and there, but obviously, like if you do the 48 Robot Masters, that's not the full game, so you're not like submitting to the regular leaderboards for that or whatever. So
right.
I just feel like I don't see what you've done too often. Not to say it's never happened before, but
Yeah.
it seems uncommon in the space because again, all the games are so different.
Yeah, I don't know how common it is in like other franchises. Like Mario 1, 2, and 3 are very different. Like the Mega
Oh
Man
well,
games are
yeah,
different, but not as different as like, the NES Marios. So there are people that run all of them, right?
yeah. I've definitely
I
run
don't know if there's
all 2D Mario's, like
right, but like
or
um
here. What's
Mario
what's
1
the
just
question?
like, sorry, Mario 1 just kind of like skews everything because
Mm,
it's so hard to get at the top of that leaderboard, because of
yeah,
obviously the popularity of it. But like the Mega Man games, a lot of times people just kind of have their favorite, and they'll run the other ones, um, because of the community. I think because we do those 46 Robot Master races,
yeah.
um, because like you're just constantly in other people's chats watching them try to PB in a game, like in one of the other games, and be like, the more you watch that, the more it's just like that looks like fun. Like I want to try that out.
Mhm.
So I think there's definitely a culture in Mega Man of running like, there's not that many that just like I only run this one Mega Man and not the others. Like a lot of people branch out. At least people that stay with the hobby, like oftentimes like will pick up another Mega Man.
But you might not see all
But
six or anything.
right, but like people have their preferences, right?
Mm,
Like I like the sliding megas better than the walking megas. I think the
mm,
walking megas are interesting. I like the zips in them. I think the because of the low iframes, the Mega Man 2 boss fights in particular are super fun. But like walking around a stage is just not that interesting to me. Like
mhm.
it would be really uncommon to watch me play a platformer where you don't have like some type of movement tech uh that you're repeating. Um, but like still, because of the community, I think, uh, I wanted to do Mega Man 1 and 2, and I wanted to play them like if I'm gonna do it, I want to try to do it at a high level.
Mhm.
Uh, I think that's been the main thing is like if I'm gonna I usually don't learn something casually. Like if I'm gonna put time into learning something, like I want to go all in. Like first, I'll try to learn the hardest strat. If I can't do the hardest strat, I'll back off. But like I'm gonna try to like really go all out to like learn something as best I can and like get the most out of it that I can.
Um, that does remind me. Speaking of like the Mega Man leaderboards and all that, I've always been curious. They've been, on their own website as long as I can remember.
Right.
Is there like any particular reason for that, or has
Yeah. So um some of this pre like the Mega Man leaderboard has always existed for as long as I've been in Mega Man speedrunning.
yeah?
So like I
Okay.
I don't have like the attachment to it in the sense that like I was there when it was founded, but like it was all that I had used. Um and like when I picked up Zelda, Legend of Zelda had their own leaderboard as well. This was before
Yeah,
speedrun.com.
like
And so I was kind of
2015.
used. Yeah, like I was from the era of like games just had their own leaderboard. So I didn't have the attachment to speedrun.com.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like the idea of a centralized leaderboard. I think speedrun.com is actually great. I think it's great for the hobby. I do not have a speedrun.com account. I did, and now I don't. I deleted it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the reason for that is so when speedrun.com started, they created Mega Man leaderboards, but like we had our own, um, and we didn't feel like there was a need, especially in the early eras of speedrun.com. Like we didn't feel like there was a need to migrate our leaderboard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was something that happened, slowly over time. Like more and more communities did it, but like uh, we basically had a an agreement with speedrun.com where they would mirror our like they would just basically link to our leaderboard. Like
Okay.
we were happy with the features that we had.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of history with it. We liked our features better at the time. Some people still like the features better. We're not inundated with ads, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that became
Um,
a thing.
Also, we just have some like as a community, like we have some autonomy over it and whatever. It can be what we want it to be because we don't have to go through anybody else, right? Um, but anyway, like them linking to our leaderboard was fine. Like the purpose of it being on speedrun.com is just like visibility and people being able to have all their times in one spot and um, like if we had some sort of API that just mirrored what we have on Mega Man RTA leaderboards to speedrun.com, like that would be great. I But anyway, so like we had that agreement for a while, and then the speedrun.com was sold to I can't remember who bought it, but like it was sold off.
Yeah.
And we've seen a lot of like the monetization features and stuff happen since then. But when that happened, basically the agreement went away. So what speedrun.com was doing was just like maintaining their own Mega Man leaderboard.
Mm-hmm.
There were some people from the community that like tried to like basically port times over and like try to keep them synced, but like without an automatic way of doing that, they just always kind of fell into disrepair, and like you would
Yeah.
end up with like one accurate leaderboard and one that just is wrong. And like
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather a leaderboard not exist than be wrong. Um, and so that's always been my thing with speedrunner.com is like please don't maintain this like just
Just
don't
link
have
it
this
to
leaderboard.
yours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, something. Don't maintain a leaderboard that isn't accurate. But they, didn't have any interest in doing that. And um, yeah, so at that point, I'm just like, okay, well, I just
Mm-hmm.
the hobby is for the runners. Like, I don't try to. This is such an interesting thing because like there's a lot of different ways to look at this, but it goes back to um like speedrunning as a hobby versus speedrunning like as a money making venture.
Mm-hmm.
I've to me like I've always prioritized. Like I'm not saying that I haven't made money off of my Twitch channel, um, but like not really. I haven't gone out of my way to monetize my Twitch channel, and that's like kind of the era of speedrunning that I grew up in was like, and I don't think this is correct, but like there was just like this really strong like peer pressure of like it's selling out to try to make money off of this hobby. Like you should do it for the love of the hobby. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
like I'm so glad that people are able to like make a living streaming and make a living speedrunning. Like I think that's great that like mentality has kind of gone away. But
Yeah.
like a lot of my like engagement with the hobby has been through that lens of just like I want to keep it pure. I want to keep it, to speedrunning and like not like because there was a time it's like, do I want to make this my career or like do I want to make money off of this? And it's just like I feel like I would have to sacrifice too much of my enjoyment of this hobby in order to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and so all that's to say that like Mega Man leaderboards doesn't exist to make any money for anybody, and speedrun.com does. Um and I found it just kind of gross the way that all went down. And that they're like I feel like the intent, like some integrity is lost in like just having these leaderboards that don't make like that are just wrong and are misleading in
Mm-hmm.
order to make money and get page views and ad revenue and all that stuff. So uh, at that time, I deleted my speedrun.com account. So like my
I
Hollow
see.
Knight run, my Legend of Zelda run, like all that stuff, Xenosaga 2, that was the toughest one because I wanted people to be able like that's a game that nobody runs. I wanted people to be able to find my run, but it's just like for myself, I just didn't want to associate with speedrun.com. So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Like that's one story from one Mega Man runner. There
Mm-hmm.
are hundreds and hundreds of Mega Man runners, and like some people agree with that, some people don't agree with that. People have different levels of uh, yeah, like there are many opinions as there are people, right? But like
Mm-hmm.
whenever it's been brought to the community, like what do we want to do with speedrun.com? The overwhelming majority of the Mega Man community just doesn't want to have anything to do with them at this point. That's kind of where it's at.
I see. I
I wish it
specifically asked
wasn't that
you.
way.
Oh, sorry.
No, no, go for it.
I specifically asked you this because I knew that you didn't have an account. Because
Yeah,
I always look up the guests to see what the history was, so I know like what games to look out for. And I was like, huh, I know it's not
yeah,
just Mega Man, but there's no account
yeah,
here, so I can't verify that. So like when
yeah.
you were mentioning that you had a really good time in Zelda now, I was like, "Yeah, I've never seen it on the
No, that's
leaderboard.
news to me.
What? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah,
that."
yeah, yeah. No, again, like I was a world record holder in Hollow Knight,
Hmm.
and that just doesn't exist on speedrun.com. Like,
Yeah,
um, so it's sad. Like, I really didn't want to go that route, but just from an integrity perspective, that's kind of what I felt was the right decision.
I see. I see. Okay, but yeah, that clears up the confusion I had. So
Yeah, again, and I don't want my words to be indicative of like representing how the Mega Man community feels about that. There are people that feel the way
mhm.
that I do.
No, I totally
I,
get it was a personal decision. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I've always known like they had their own separate leaderboard, and yeah, I thought at one point I remember if you looked up the game, it would say go to this website,
Yeah,
and
that
I
was
was
a
like, oh,
thing.
okay,
And
that
then
makes sense.
we've tried multiple times to like work with them on having, again, some sort of like mirroring API, and it's just yeah,
Yeah,
it just hasn't worked out.
that's a shame because yeah, I feel like there's no reason why that couldn't be a thing. At the very least, again, like click here to see the leaderboard
Yeah,
because
but
you can
that's
still like obviously speedrun.com's the central focus for anyone, so probably
100%. Yeah,
if someone's like, "Ooh, Mega Man," they're gonna go there first, and you could put like the guides up
right,
there and stuff, and you know,
right. But
and it would be
yeah,
nice,
but
like, "Oh, you're welcome. Go here for more information." But whatever.
yeah, yeah, it was that way for a long time. So
Yeah,
if you look at Mega Man 3 right now, it shows that Anon 3339 has a 3339, and that's the world record. Which yeah, that's not even
not
close to
quite
accurate.
true. Yeah,
Um, but it is what it is. We've spilled a lot of words about that over the years, and it just hasn't really led to anything. So
Hmm.
that's
Just
where we're at.
got it. All right.
Yeah,
Well, yep. That clears that up for me. So,
yeah, yeah. No, it's definitely interesting.
mhm. um, I guess kind of led us on that tangent there. In terms of the timeline side of things, did we get to like kind of more current day stuff?
Um, Yeah, I can get into that. So, I really haven't done like a serious PB attempt speed run in I don't even know. It's probably been since that 2023 grind.
Oh, really?
Um,
Wow.
yeah. So like I have derusted and prepared two games for two marathons in the time since then in 2024 and 2025, but like not with the same goal of like let me try to actually. Trying to think if I beat my Xenosaga 2 time when I was preparing for Limit Break. I don't think I did. But like yeah, the goal, especially with again like my job just taking like a lot more of my time up. It
Mm.
was like let me get these games. Let me do practice more for reliability and like it's a little different usually like how I prepare for a marathon run versus like when I'm trying to beat a personal best. Like it's usually just safer strats and making sure to focus on the entertainment of the marathon run's just kind of a different beast.
Mm.
Um, and so that's really been my most recent like speedrunning ventures was getting Xenosaga 2 prepared for RPG Limit Break in 2024. And then this year, that's when I did something. This was so like the last time we had gone to a GDQ, we Mega Man 3 has debug functions on the second controller. Some people know
Mm.
about this.
I didn't.
It was like a Nintendo Power thing when I was a
Oh,
kid. I actually like knew about it. But like if you hold, for instance, left on the second controller, you can do like a super jump that like is basically the whole screen. Um,
wow.
and if you do that while jumping into a pit, like you can jump out of the pit and not die. Uh, if you get hit, like if an enemy crosses your hitbox while you're in the pit, it drains all your health and you're in like a zombie state. Uh, and then like you can slow down time and like there's all these like different second controller features. And so um, we had always like, people had done like basically one player two controller runs using these functions. Like a couple of them had been done, but nobody. It wasn't like people that put a lot of like thought into the routing or like ran the game at a high level. So me and Colonel Fatso, who was the previous world record holder in Mega Man 3, decided to like route it out at a GDQ. And we would just like kind of switch off who was first player and who was second player, and decided to route out the whole game that way. And we did like a couple of um, like recorded runs, and then this last year, Fatso was like, I think it's now. Like if we're gonna do this run at a GDQ, like let's do it this year. And so I wasn't really in a place where like I hadn't really done serious Mega Man 3 speedruns in quite a while. It's been like 2.5 years. Um, but it was to derust that and be able to show that off at GDQ because it's a pretty different run as you can imagine, like using those tools. Uh, and so yeah, that was like the most recent thing I did. Um, Beyond that, like uh yeah, my I've honestly been not streaming to my Twitch channel. I've been streaming to an alt because I like to do I like to do blind playthroughs and not have people spoil it.
Mm. Fair. Yeah.
And like Silk Song and stuff like that. So that's usually what I would do is like stream that on an alt. But like the next thing I'll probably stream will be like Slay the Spire 2 when it comes out. I think I'll probably stream that on my main channel. But um I like I said, I still see myself with the Mega Man 3 grind in the future. I don't know exactly when that's going to be. But I'm not retired from speedrunning, but I again, it's been almost 3 years since I've like
Indefinite
really.
hiatus.
Yeah. It's just I love the hobby too much to like. I still go to a GDQ every year if I can,
Mm.
and um, I still am like in the speedrunner discords and stuff like that, and staying up with that sort of thing. But yeah, I it's just hard. It's hard to be away from like speedrunning is just awesome, man. I just
Mm.
really have really enjoyed the hobby so much that um even as I've had less time, it's just like hard. Like I don't want to let it go.
Yeah. Of course. This actually kind of led into the next thing I was going to ask, which was like kind of your history with marathon runs. Like, what was your
Sure.
first one, and then
My first one was actually Calathon, which
oh
doesn't exist
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
We had 5 of those, and then it died around COVID, unfortunately.
Mm.
But Shasta and Jeff in 3D, like, and some others, like, put a lot of work into like maintaining those over the years. So I went to a Calathon in March of 2016. It was my
Oh wow.
uh, first. This was right. I must have had the record at the time. Yeah. Okay. So I had the record at the time. I had the record and had just switched over to top first because I remember there was a donation incentive on whether I would run Magnet first or top first at the marathon. Um, and so that was a really interesting experience for me, just because, like, again, I'm a pretty shy person. I
Mm-hmm.
had been involved with the community. I really enjoyed the speedrunner community. Was like really looking forward to meeting people, but also like just going to an event and like, do I introduce myself with my name or my Twitch handle? And like there's just like there's a lot of like uncertainty with it. And so it was just like it was something that I had like a lot of like apprehension for, just because of um not being the most social person, but like having really like really wanting to be a part of the community.
Mm.
That was a really fun experience. It wasn't like, because it was local and it was because it was smaller. It wasn't like the big group of like Mega Man runners that I knew. There were some people that I knew there, like Voolagin, Jimmy Poopins, some people that like had been in my stream, but like I didn't have anybody there that was like a Mega Man runner from the Mega Man community. But like it was a super fun time. Got to see what the whole like live uh live marathon thing is about, how there's like a practice room and games, and uh like I did commentary on a couple runs that I knew nothing about going
Mm.
into into that event. But like watch people practice and like learn how to give commentary, so like that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The run itself was awful. Like I've had a history of really bad marathon runs. um this Calathon, so it was the very first Calathon. The couch was like, the TV wasn't that big, and the couch was set up like, I don't know, 25 feet from it or something. Like
Mm.
it was pretty far, and so like it was just a different experience than like I had playing the game at home. And so like I I stand by my runs in the sense that I think I had fun with them. Like I didn't let the fact that I died multiple times like uh kill the vibe of the run. But like the runs were just like not up to my standard. And so it took a while before I like actually had a GDQ or like a live marathon run that I was like really proud of. But yeah, that first one, like I've never missed the estimate at a marathon, at the very least. But like that has a lot to do with like Mega Man runners giving like pretty generous estimates. But um, so anyway, yeah, that was fun. That was Calathon in March, and then I did GDQ Mega Man 3 run that July in 2016. And that one went even worse than the Calathon run. My controller broke like an
Oh.
hour before my run, and so I ran the game on a controller I had never used before.
Mm.
Um, and that went about as well as you would expect for a
Of
game that's
course.
like very, very input intensive. And so I died like 4 times in that run. I think I got like a 38-56. Uh, Funny enough, Colonel Fatso, when he did his Mega Man 3 run years later, set 38-56's estimate. Thank you, Colonel Fatso. Yeah, that was a meme for a while. Was my Mega Man 3? Because remember, checkers in 2014 at a 34-20. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
possible to play this game well at a live marathon. I didn't, but it's possible to do it theoretically. But I had so that first GDQ was like, I it was the best experience I've ever had in speedrunning. It was like meeting all of my friends, getting there and just like having people have the thought to like, hey, let me show you around, let me introduce you, like, because it was my first one. Um, uh, Eric's like got me my birthday was that week. He got me like a custom birthday cake, and Ice Plug was on the piano like playing a Mega Man 3 song, and like a bunch of people were there. It was just like it was so like everything that like for people that like haven't been a part of a community, and like especially the speedrunner community, like everything that you would want, everything that you hear about like how welcoming like the speedrunners are, and how yeah, how they just like pull you in and just make you feel like a part of everything, even if you're new to it.
Mhm.
That's what I felt. And I think a part of the reason why like I still go to GDQs and I'm still, close to everybody, even though I don't, run as actively, it just can be traced back to that and just how I want to be that person for others and how I just want to, I don't know, just kind of perpetuate that and also just be around people that have just always been very kind.
Mhm.
So yeah, the experience of that GDQ was incredible. The run was whatever. I had a lot of fun with it, but like I played poorly. Um, yeah. So then I've done a number. How many GDQ runs have I done? Not that many. I think I did Mega Man 3. I did Mega Man 3 again as part of the 1 through 3 relay. That was super fun.
Oh yeah,
Um,
1 through 3 relay.
Sinister helped set that up. We got like Cypher out of retirement. We
Mhm.
got a couple of the Japanese runners out to participate. Super cool. Thanks to Sinister for like making sure that happened. Um, and so that was fun. I played okay there. I think I had like a low 35. Uh, Again, like not up to my level, but it wasn't a 38.56, so that was cool. And then I guess it was just those two, and then the Mega Man 3 um co-op run with Fatso. Am I missing one? I've done Hollow Knight at Calathon. I did Mega Man 2 at Calathon. I did Mega Man 5 at Calathon. I did the Xenosaga 2 run at Limit Break. Um, Might be one I'm missing. But I've done a number of. Oh yeah, Mega Man 11, the race at GDQ. So I guess I've done 4 GDQ runs.
Mhm.
That one was probably my best. I was the second place. I did get world record in Mega Man 11 at one point, but I was second to QTT6, who flew out from Taiwan for that race. And I beat him in that race.
Mhm.
I had a 34, which like my PB at the time was a 34. So that was the best marathon run I've had. And that one like kind of put the demons of my past behind me, where it's like, okay, I had a deathless clean like GDQ run. Like I can do this. I'm not cursed. I'm not like the thing with me is like I get super nervous.
Yeah,
As
oh
much as
yeah.
I've done it, like especially for the relay, like I could not feel my hands for like 2 or 3 stages.
Mhm.
Um, in the Mega Man 3 relay because like I'm just sitting there on stage like waiting for my turn and just getting more and more and more nervous and then it's your turn. It's just like go. It's like I man I I you'd think after like having done it for so many years and like done a number of GDQ like live marathon runs at this point that like those nerves would go away. But man, I still get nervous every time I do a live run.
Yeah, no.
I don't know how it is for you. I,
Um,
your runs was good that I remember.
I haven't really had a bad run yet.
Yeah.
Um, I've had some dumb things happen, but nothing has been like awful for me yet. We'll see how things go. But no, uh, I have a lot of anxiety. So yeah, I'm
Well,
always freaking out before runs.
yeah, it doesn't seem like it affects your performance too much, which is nice. Like, do you have any?
Um, for me, what usually happens is it'll be like the first couple minutes is terrifying, and then it'll you kind of just lock in.
Yeah,
Um, and usually the first like 2 minutes of a run for what I do isn't too scary. I think that
gotcha.
helps.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, that's my experience anyway.
Okay. Yeah, usually like I'll reach a point where I kind of like the nerves go away and I find some sort of
Yeah.
equilibrium. But like by that point,
Once
I've
you
usually
lock
died.
in and focus, you
Like,
kind of forget what you're doing.
yeah.
Especially if you have like commentary. Like I've the past couple runs I had were both runs in a way where we weren't mic'd. So all I had to do was just focus and lock in, and there I felt fine
Oh,
because
nice. Okay.
it was just full on lock in. I don't have to think about you know providing good commentary or anything. That's other people's job. I'm just racing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's nice to be able to just focus on that.
yeah,
My first run, I did solo commentary. Um,
that's
it
the
was really
hardest
important.
thing for
It was
me.
really important to me. Like I wouldn't go back and redo it because like despite my time not being what I wanted, like I because of the week that I was having and just like how how embraced I felt and all that, I just like wanted to communicate just some of my feelings about GDQ and speedrunning and all that. And like I felt like it was important to me, like the commentary was more important than the run, I guess. Because I just felt like I had a lot that I wanted to say. And since then, like fine, like I can just let someone else handle commentary and focus more. Like I don't even think I'm a great commentator, but yeah, that was important to me at the time.
Yeah, I've always been terrible, IMO at least, with like solo comms while running.
It's
Like,
tough.
yeah,
It's yeah.
that is very hard. Anyone that can do that, like full respect. I can't. Even like solo commentary, like I'm not even running. I'm just doing solo commentary. I find difficult. I need like banter with someone or like
Sure, yeah.
a share of explanations. Like I don't know. I'm bad at being on my own. I like need help with
That
like
get
everything.
that gets me thinking of something. That gets me thinking of something else. Have you ever done like offline runs?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Um
How does that go for you?
I haven't done stuff like that in a while because I get very mad very fast.
Ah, okay, okay.
Um eh, Streaming usually kind of helps, and I'm
Okay.
talking like years ago. I've gotten a lot
Sure.
better about that since, but like that's
Okay.
what I remember. I used to do offline runs all the time. Now, sometimes it was because like I didn't have a stable internet for a long time. And it was back when I didn't use mic or cam anyway, so I just didn't really care that much. But
Okay.
I just get more upset a lot easier, and I couldn't like vent my frustrations in any meaningful way.
I I have a yeah, I have a that's interesting. I have a friend that has kind of like a similar thing where yeah, anyway. Without the reason sorry, but the reason why I brought that up is because I've tried it like a couple times and I find that I get super nervous doing offline runs when I'm on
Nervous.
pace.
No, I get more
Yes.
nervous streaming than not, because
So
then I
I
feel
found that
like,
like
oh, these people are gonna watch me eat shit instead of just, oh, no one
interesting.
saw
So
me
like
eat shit.
right. Okay. So for me, it's like I need a distraction when I'm on pace because like I have the
Okay,
muscle
okay.
memory. Like I know how to do it. I just need to not be thinking about it because like the more I think about it, the worse it's gonna
Yeah,
go.
yeah, I get
And I
that.
think that's been my problem with like marathon runs as well. So like if I
Mhm.
have just someone in the chat that I can just kind of be talking about something else or whatever, just like get my mind off of it. Um, but like just being there in my room with nothing but my own thoughts, you know,
I see.
uh, yeah, that I found that like I would get better paces and just completely like not be able to handle it. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Usually if I'm doing something like offline, I have some sort of noise pollution in the background. Like I'll have something on the
yeah,
television or something, so that maybe that helps with distraction.
that's that's maybe something I should have tried. That's interesting.
Um, because yeah. Um, but no, I definitely know what you're talking about. I've experienced similar things like that.
Hmm.
Um, like I mean, it can be whatever at any point. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
very random that
yeah,
way.
yeah,
But
sure,
and it's been a while. Like I don't really do offline runs anymore. Like if I'm gonna be offline, I'd rather just do something that I wouldn't be streaming anyway.
yeah.
Or
I kind of got to a sorry, good.
yeah, and I just like having like the kind of proof standards of being streamed. Like I even have it on my camera because like I'm still not totally all about the face cam thing. Like for here, I have to do it and whatever. But like,
Yeah,
especially when I'm playing, I need to focus on the game. Like that's got to be the primary focus. I have it off to the
yeah,
side, so so it's out of the way. I'm not thinking about it. But what I also do is
right.
in that shot, I have my TV and console and everything, so it's like super proof standards. No
Okay.
question about this.
Yeah, that makes sense, and especially for the game you play as well.
Hmm.
I feel like there's
Not that
probably
I've ever been questionable anyway,
no,
but
but like I get that.
no, I just like it because I don't know. It feels more authentic. Like I
It's
run in a
honestly
very authentic way, and I like to show it. I don't care
yeah,
how anyone wants to run. That's just how I do it.
right. Part of the reason I started streaming with a mic and then like also switching from emulator to console was like to like head off questions about like authenticity as well.
Hmm.
Um, So like there was an element of that for me. I think what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought.
I know I started on emulator as well without microcam.
Yeah.
And I guess my proof was never questioned because, I didn't start off very good. So I guess that helps.
No, I didn't either, but like, yeah, I think getting ahead of it was something that I cared about. Like, at a certain point, I realized like, oh, I think I am gonna get pretty good at this. Like, let me
Yeah, my first GDQ is when
not
I
invite
like,
questions.
yeah, my first GDQ I went to like
Yeah.
not even yet a year into the hobby. And
Okay.
it was my first time getting to play on consoles and stuff, and I became like
Oh,
a god instantly. And I was like, oh,
wait, that's so funny. So wait, had you not played it on console before going to the event? Like, did you
yeah, no, I didn't
learn
have
to
a
play
way to
on
do
console
it.
at the? That's
Which
crazy.
is interesting
Wait,
because I did have a console. Like I grew up with the NES too, just because we had one, but it
yeah.
broke, so I
Uh,
couldn't use it. Although I
okay.
like moved some things around and got it to work again and ended up using it later after GDQ, but until then, yeah, I switched to console. I was like, wait, input lag. I've been playing with like
Yeah, no,
horrible
it's
input lag and it's been ruining my life. I'm suddenly good at the
yeah,
game and then I switched to console, immediately returning, and then just like immediately became really good at the game.
yeah, yeah.
And
Um,
this was
I
back when
noticed
they had
it
all CRTs too.
right. Yeah, I noticed it mainly in Legend of Zelda because you're doing more like read and react type of things. It's like that
Hmm.
was almost unplayable on
Oh
emulator, and
yeah,
I think that was part of my frustration. And then going back to it on console, it's like, oh, okay, this is like actually possible now.
yeah, yeah. You need
But
like
like,
as low latency as possible for stuff like
but
this.
try, yeah, but trying to get new your muscle memory right at an event and like relearning all your visual cues and all that's tough.
Yeah, especially
Hats off to you for
now.
that.
I remember, you know, back pre-COVID, if you were doing retro games, they had CRTs and everything, but now you have to like play a retro tank on stage. I'm sure you're familiar with that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
and I still swear there's one frame of
yeah,
delay.
yeah. I think
I
so. It doesn't feel
swear,
the same to me. Yeah,
which matters.
yeah.
But
I've heard that from a lot of Mario One runners as well. But
yeah,
like
yeah.
even in my games, it doesn't feel the same to me.
You see, our strategy, the most recent Mario 1 thing we did was, have you seen the technology where the guy takes all the consoles and runs them through a computer so they all appear on one screen and then you can see like where
Yeah,
all the
I've seen that.
races are
Yeah.
in the, yeah, yeah. The way he has the technology set up is we all play on original consoles on these CRTs he has. So we got to play at CRTs
Okay.
last year, and that
Okay.
I still didn't play
That's cool.
well, but like
Uh, I
I
love my
couldn't blame
CRT
the
because like
input
even
lag this time because we were I was doing it correctly.
yeah, I have had my CRT since I started in 2014, and I love it.
Mhm.
It's a Trinitron Wega, and when I go to GDQs, even when they use CRTs, like they were just not as good. Like they were
Mhm.
blurrier, and like you couldn't make out the pixels as well.
Oh yeah, a lot
Um,
of the CRTs were so awful. I remember like there was
yeah,
always one that just like the colors were like melting or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, and it's like this is not this is not good. um,
Good
Yeah,
times.
the other reason I switched from emulator was like I wanted to do a GDQ run at some point, and it's like obviously I'm gonna need to be on console for
Yeah, they
that.
don't.
But I think if I tried to go and like learn console like or console CRT from like emulator LCD at an event, like I think it would have gone just miserably for me.
Yeah, I'm very glad I learned well before I did any sort of marathon run to
Yeah,
play on console.
yeah, because we for the 1 through 3 relay, Prizzy flew out from Germany, and he had only been an emulator runner, so like
Mm.
he was trying to learn it, and he was stressing out because like it was nothing was going
Yeah,
well,
no, like you're
like as you would
almost guaranteed
expect.
input lag on
Yeah, and so like
emulator.
he was just like I would go to bed, and he's just like in the room on the CRT, just like playing all night, like just trying to get his muscle memory for like oh like yeah that's rough, like that's a really
Yeah.
people like I um my nephew was like playing Mario 3 on what is it? It was just like It was something with input delay. It was like one of the mini NES, mini NESs or something like that.
Oh, like the
And
NES
I'm like,
Mini.
oh yeah, I know, yeah. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that
oh, I
has
know how to
built-in
do
lag.
this. And
Hmm.
so like I tried to do it, and I'm just like, oh no, this is I
Yeah,
I'm
even if you
embarrassing
feed
myself.
that
Like,
thing in a CRT, there's like built-in lag on that thing. I think the Super Nintendo one's
yeah,
even worse too, or something.
like I wanted to show something
Also, the
off, and it took
frame
me like
rate
5 minutes.
is worse. It's slower
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
remember people were like using that as a way to run Mario 1 when it came out, and we had to, do RTA timing, which was different because it ran at a slower frame rate.
yeah.
So, all sorts of not optimal. But,
Yeah, I didn't really realize that until I got into the
yeah,
hobby a little bit, and then trying to explain that to others, it just sounds like you're making excuses.
it
Like,
matters a
no,
lot.
so they're like, no, it's the input delay. I swear, it's not me.
It's true.
Yeah,
I can notice when it's like one frame.
yeah. My brother always makes fun of me when I use that excuse, though.
Mm, well, just remember that you're right.
Yeah, yeah. As long as I got that.
Mhm. So is that your full marathon history then?
Yeah, yeah. I think without going into like each of them individually,
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's kind of the highlights of it.
And you went to GDQ as much as you could, even without like having runs in, because it sounds like there was a bit of a no.
Yeah, the COVID years were like I didn't go to most of those.
Well, no one did.
Well, the ones that
Yeah,
existed,
no, I
like
know what you mean.
even like the first couple that came back, it took me a
Yeah,
little bit, but like now,
like the very first one kind of wasn't. Hold on, I think my headset just died on me.
hello,
Oh,
you hear me?
yeah, I don't know. It made some weird beeping noise
Okay,
and freaked me out.
okay. I've just been silent and played into it.
I see. Well, if it does it again, I'll do something about it. But
That's all good.
anyway, what were we talking about?
Yeah, like I try to go at least to one every year. Usually the
Yeah,
summer because summer in Minnesota is a lot more appealing than winter in Pittsburgh.
yeah, that's fair. Um,
Uh,
mhm.
and like typically more of the Mega Man community goes to the summer one. Like we had like 3 or 4 rooms just of Mega Man people, like
Oh
four to
wow.
a room. Like it was a big group. And
Yeah,
that's
I know
cool. Like
there's
that's
usually a big
mostly
Mega Man scene. Like I always see everyone playing Mega Man like the entire week. Like
yeah.
kind of in
Well,
one of
then
the
there's
back
like
rows, someone's always doing one
yeah,
of
or
them.
like a big ROM hack race. We always do one of
Yeah.
those, and there's like plus people doing it. It's super cool. Like
Oh yeah, no.
it's just it's a really good group of people. Like I just really enjoy them. Um, but yeah, that's mostly why I go to the GDQs. Is just kind of catch up with everybody and just hang out. But usually we bingo and ROM hacks and like there's always a lot of fun to
Hmm.
be had in the room.
Of course. But yeah, that's a constant I've always noticed is there's like just constantly some sort of classic Mega somewhere in the practice room.
It's like pretty well like well when I first started doing GDQs like there would be 4 classic Mega runs in every GDQ.
Oh yeah,
Like
that's yeah.
it was really well represented. And it's not so much anymore. But like the classic Mega community is still all like around the hobby. Even like though there's not as many runs being submitted to the leaderboard these days, it's just I don't know. It's a group that's really yeah, just kind of stayed close.
Hmm. Um, kind of. I think I've like asked all the questions I had. Really.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
it was super nice talking to you. That was a lot of fun. I yeah, I really love the hobby. I enjoy
Hmm.
talking about it. I enjoy especially talking to other people about like I wish I could spend, 2 hours interviewing you because I'm sure there's a lot of
Yeah.
questions the I could
Well,
ask you,
you
but
can pick my brain at a GDQ if you're
that'd be fun.
interested or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fun. I'll like
Or
that.
it's a little old now, but episode 0, I interviewed myself.
Oh, okay. I can go check that out. But yeah, it's just fun talking to people about the craft because like we have a lot of similar experiences, but
Mm,
also everybody just like learns in different ways and like wants different things out of the hobby.
yeah.
Um, People have different strengths and weaknesses, and I don't know. It's just it's everybody has their own story and their own journey. It's just like really fun to figure out like how people view speedrunning and like what their relationship with it has been.
Mm, yeah. I mean, that's part of why I do this, right? Like, everyone's
Yeah,
journey
yeah,
is
it's super.
different, and I genuinely find like it incredibly interesting. And I don't think there's a lot of content. I know there's a few other kind of podcast type things, but some of them are either old or like not frequent. So
Yeah,
I've had this going
I
almost 3 years strong. So there we go.
yeah, that's awesome. No, it's great that you're doing it, and thank you so much for having me on. It's been a pleasure talking to you for sure.
Oh, of course. Again, I've been
I,
following Mega Man, classic Mega Man, especially Mega Man 2 specifically, for about as long as my speedrun career's been. So
do you see yourself learning Mega Man 2 at some point?
I've written it down as on my list of games to try sometime, but I don't know.
There's so many good games out there,
Yeah.
stuff. I have a lot of games on that list where it's like, oh, that'd be
I
fun.
also don't branch out of like Mario, 2D Mario very much, but
Yeah.
I've done a few of the zips. It is fun. It just seems very daunting, obviously, but
If you were gonna put a serious grind into something that wasn't Mario, like what would it be?
ooh, gosh, I really don't know because
Interesting. Okay.
I just haven't branched off too much. Like that's kind of my like that's what I enjoy in speedrunning is that type of game, like Mario platforming.
Sure. Yeah.
Like I like
I
Mario
like the
64 even. That's 3D, still Mario,
yeah.
but like
I like the lack of momentum in like I because I've tried Mario speedrunning and it's just like the momentum is so different from Mega Man,
hmm
where you just have like complete precise air control.
yeah.
That like it's just like I would get used to it for sure, like running Mario, but like it's a huge wall at at the start where it's just like I feel like I can't control this guy at all.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a learning curve, but once you got it down,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
I
for
say
sure. Yeah.
anyone can get like sub 5 in like a week if they really tried. Like it's not that hard of a run. It's after that where it's like, okay, good luck. But
I feel like I should probably do that just to check it. Like, if you're an
yeah.
NES speedrunner, it feels like you should have a sub 5 in Mario just to do it.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say you need to, but
I've thought about it. I've thought about it.
I if it seems hard, I don't think it is. If you like learn how to do it properly and put in the
I
time,
think I
it
think I
shouldn't
could
take
give it
too
a
long.
sub 5. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to go for anything beyond that, but yeah,
Yeah,
that
no.
does sound fun.
Yeah, like 458's like a perfect run without anything
Yeah.
stupid, and then it's just exponentially harder from there on out. So just like stop. Stop
Yeah.
right there.
Hey, you're fighting for really dumb frames at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Frame rules, I guess.
Yep. It's a run, that's for sure. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's done good to me. Obviously,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
more of
cool.
like the warpless guy. That
Right, right,
that's what
right.
I really enjoy. But I mean, 80%'s how I started. But
Sure. Warpless is cool. I've enjoyed watching a few people run that.
hmm
Cab, and Sonic, and a few others I've seen run Warpless.
yeah, it's the better category.
I think so. Like
hmm
it's less stupid stuff per capita.
Well, not anymore, but well, world
Is
record
it is it?
level, not anymore.
Well, sure. I guess it depends what you want out of it. Yeah.
Oh, the warpless record right now is like so much harder IMO than the 80% record right now, like by a lot.
That's that's crazy. Oh yeah, because it just got broken by like a lot, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's like a few seconds, like something huge.
yeah, like 5 seconds.
Yeah, yeah. I remember that. Yeah, that's insane.
Which you
For
usually
that
see like
category.
usually 1 second is a lot, especially at the point it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
at. It's like nope, okay,
That's yeah, that's insane.
yeah, no, it's
I
but you
how many flagpole glitches are there in Warpless?
in the record right now, I don't know, like 12,
Oh my god.
and only
Oh
like 8 of those are the easy one. That's 5 frame perfect inputs. The others, well,
yeah, that does sound easy.
no,
5 frame
yeah,
perfect
right.
inputs.
No,
It does.
nah. The easiest one's the bulbo glitch where you just do 1 frame perfect. and you win a coin flip. Unless you do like 2 frame perfects and you can like jump on an audio cue, whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
record stupid, but if you scroll back in the history, and the first name that isn't Nifsky is me. Good times.
Yay!
Good
I do recall that.
times.
It's nice. It's nice to be on, like, because I have this with Hollow Knight. It's like it's nice to be on top of a category, like
Yeah,
even if it gets put out of reach or to a stupid level. It's like, well, I had it at one time.
I'm still good at like competition for it. Um,
Sure.
but yeah, like PB grinding. I mean, I'll still want to improve my time, but like, yeah, world record. Never again. We had a good run.
Yeah, it's like yeah. It doesn't seem fun to try to compete with that. Like,
No, I'll.
what for?
We had a good run. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Cool. Glad the
Yeah.
hobby's been good to you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've been doing it for almost 9 years now, or has it been? No, almost 9. Um, yeah. I've kind of been not doing it as much recently either, but I've kept up with this at least, and obviously I'm never gonna go away from the hobby in any way. Like
That's good.
I've gone to every in-person GDQ except for one since my first one in summer 2018. So
Yeah,
I'm a
I
little
feel like
addicted.
there. Yeah, I feel like there's a lack of uh like YouTube curated like speedrun content. Like obviously like summoning salt stuff is huge, but like
Yeah,
I
I
feel
mean
like
that's
there's
how I
such
learned about this. So
yeah, I feel like there's so much like I would love to have a show where like you examine like the number one and number two times. Like I could
ooh,
do that for like a number of games and just be like these are the differences and like I don't know. I feel like there's so much stuff that I would be like interested in watching if people made it. I'm not like one for like editing, so I don't
yeah,
think it'll be me.
I've
But
edited
like
before. Nothing ever with like voiceover. I think that's what
yeah,
kills it for
yeah,
me because I've talked a lot about doing something like that and I've just never done it.
yeah.
But I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's so many shows that I wish existed and I like almost want to make my own, but it's
Yeah,
so far
right.
outside of my skill
I
set.
mean, this is something I always wanted, so that's why I did it. But
Yeah,
to be
so I'm glad
perfectly
this exists,
honest,
you
this
know.
is pretty easy to make.
Sure, yeah,
So
yeah. This
I
is
have
yeah.
that luxury. Like I just upload a VOD to YouTube and call it a day.
Right.
But
No, that's cool,
yeah,
but I'm super happy that you're doing this. It's nice to be a part of it.
yeah, no, I don't see me stopping now. I mean, I've done this for almost 150 weeks in a row. So
Cool.
it's a good time. And speaking of, I guess our time here is over because I'm out of
Sounds
things
good.
to ask.
Cool.
But
Cool.
I,
I
I
appreciate
know,
it. Yeah.
yeah, I know you talked about kind of future plans. I know it's a little up in the air right now, but at least something coming eventually, maybe. But
Yeah, I'm not done. I'm not done streaming to my channel. You'll see more there. Like I said, I think the next thing is when Slay the Spire 2 comes out because I that's honestly what I've done more than anything the last 2 or 3 years. I think I've put like 4,000 hours into Slay the Spire. Um, and I haven't streamed a lot of that just because again, like uh backseating is something I'm like kind of sensitive to.
yeah, no, I get it.
Um, but like I think with the new one coming out, and just like being a part of like where we're all learning this together, I think
Oh
it'd be
yeah.
fun to stream that. So I think I could see myself really enjoying streaming that when it comes out. So that I think that's the plan for now.
Well, where can people watch you do that?
That would be at twitch.tv/FASTATCC.
Oh, there you go. And then other socials you have?
Just Twitter or I guess X if we're
Ugh.
if we're doing that. I can't. But yeah, Twitter. I'm also the same. Fast at CC.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I don't tweet much anymore, but
Yeah.
I usually pay attention to what's going on in the community.
Yeah. I'm on the Blue Sky. That's where most of the speedrun information is
I
nowadays.
I guess that's fair. I just like I don't think I can do another. Like I don't really do
No, I
social
get it.
media.
Like
Like I
social
can't see
media,
signing
if
up
you
for
can
another
avoid it,
one.
avoid it. But
Right,
right.
right.
But I mean, it exists, so I'll link it.
But yeah, Discord I guess is like probably the
Yeah, and
where people usually would reach
you
out
have
to
that
me.
linked in your Twitch channel, right? So
Yes.
that can be
Yeah.
found.
Yep.
Oh, now my headset has died. Good timing.
Cool.
Um, see if I can fix this real quick. Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Nope.
Oh,
There we go. Okay. I knew something was wrong, but we're good. I don't think like the stream lost audio or anything. It was just my headphones, but
fixed it just in time to say goodbye.
yeah, exactly. Something I remember, I completely forgot to bring this up, but I remember, way when I first started watching streams, I think I followed you pretty early on. I remember a lot of Wario's Woods.
Oh yeah. I forgot about Wario's Woods.
How
That's a
could
humbling
you
game too.
forget? No.
That's a great game. Prizzy is so much better at that game than everybody else. I have no idea how he does it. But he hosted a tournament that he wasn't allowed to participate in.
Ah.
And I did that, so that was fun. Actually, I've done that. That's more recent than some of the other stuff I've done.
Hmm.
That was last year. Yeah, Warriors Woods is great. I strongly recommend that. That's like the best puzzle game I've ever played.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of NES Wario's Woods being played by people I follow, and I'm just like, what's up with this?
Yeah,
But
it's super fun. It's really challenging.
especially
But
in a
yeah.
speed run, I gotta imagine it's not easy to perform all that. Like, is it RNG
Yeah.
heavy? I guess.
It's very RNG heavy, but
Yeah.
like even just the execution is really tough.
Mm,
Because you have a lot more movement in that than you would expect from a puzzle game.
yeah.
Like you for a game with two buttons, you have like a crazy amount of ways that you can manipulate Toad and manipulate stacks and stuff like that. So uh, yeah, I'm still like I'll watch Prizzy like do an attempts of that and see like a maneuver that I haven't seen before. It's a lot of depth in that game.
Yeah. Well,
But I guess I'm top five in that as well. So yeah.
there we go. You're just good at everything. I
Oh,
see. I see. Well,
I'm obsessive over anything that I do. I'll put it that way.
I mean, aren't we all?
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, glad if I didn't miss that. Now we've covered everything.
Thank you. Yeah.
Very important,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
How could we forget? But
Oh.
yeah, I guess that'll be all for today then. So
Oh, appreciate you.
yeah,
Just
thank you for coming
pleasure
on,
talking to you.
and thanks
Absolutely.
everyone for watching. Follow the show, Twitch and YouTube. We're still going strong. Um, I don't know. After so many episodes, I just don't know how to do intros and outros anymore. uh,
You did great. That was great.
yeah. Okay, well, I will end the stream now. So goodbye.
Bye.